Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning to one and all. Chapter 8, we finished off with the geographical explanation of Brazil. Now we are in with India's geographical explanation, where India's agriculture sector is more than 5 times the agriculture sector of Brazil. And in the sense, India is an agriculture country. Like Brazil has roca farming, India has subsistence form of farming. India has great amount of cash crops, great amount of commercial crops in that way. Jute, sugarcane, coffee, rubber, all are cash crops. Rice, wheat, maize, millets, all are your food crops. Fishing, again India has a good coastline of 517 kilometers, starting from state of Gujarat right up to West Bengal. And India has inland form of fishing also. Therefore, production of fishing is done on a large scale basis, both in the marine and in the inland fishing also. States of Kerala, West Bengal, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Goa and Maharashtra have ample amount of fishing done. 40% of the fishing is done through the marine or the coastal plains, especially in the coastal waters of Kutch, the Malabar coast and the Coromandel coast in the east, whereas you have other fishes available. You have the sardine fishes, mackerel fishes, pommedak, prawns, all are available in the fishing region of marine in India. Freshwater fishes also available, irrigation channels, tanks, ponds, lakes, all these are available on a large scale basis. India supports a good 60% of fish production comes from inland fishery. Then we move on to the minings of India, where ample amount of fishery is done on a very large scale basis in the Chota Nagpur plateau, in the state of Maharashtra, MP, Korba in Chhattisgarh, Digboy in Assam, Mumbai High and the Arabian Sea itself. So you have Kaoli in Gujarat, where you have ample amount of oil rigs out there. Same way in Brazil, there is the industrial sector contributes a large scale on the basis of iron and steel production, automobiles, petroleum, chemicals, cement, technological working is done on a very large scale basis. So that was the industrialization for Brazil and India. Now if you look up on page number 57, you can see ample amount of logos of various industries. ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Company. Then you have the RINVL, Vizag Steel Plant. Then you have Array, dairy product factory, manufacturing milk and milk products through milk itself. Chittaranjan Locomotive Works, again a train, a railway work motive is there. Then you have other RCF is there, Central Silk Board of India is there, where you have different types of production being done on a very large scale basis. All these logos are available on a large scale basis all over India. We have agro-based industries, forest-based industries, depending on the raw material available in India for its base. Agro-based industries is your sugar industry, because sugar cane is a very large production base where we can do it. Then you have forest-based industries where paper is made, plywood is made, matches are made, resins are used, lac is used. That means you can make ample amount of rubber, latex in that way. Then you have in the state of Kerala a good amount of coir copra, that is your coconut, and fishing, canning is done in the industrialization in the state of Kerala. Apart from that, there are many other states where there are different types of refineries also available. In Mathura, that is in UP, Baroni is there. Then you have in Panvel also, Aligarh, Alibag, all in the state of Maharashtra also. Then large amount of salt, bulk salt is on a very large scale basis, where India is having a large balance of trade in that way. Now we move on to the trade section of India and Brazil. Obviously, if export is more than import, that means the country is developing. Otherwise, if it's vice versa, if import is more than export, that means that particular country is going into debt with the other countries of the world. Therefore, Brazil, if you look at your table on page number 58 on top, export, import and balance of trade values in US dollars. US dollar means United States dollars. India exports were in 2009-10 1.7 lakhs. In that way, import was 2.8 lakhs. That means import was more than export. That means we were in debts at that time. Brazil was vice versa. It was more of export and less of import. Therefore, good amount of production, good amount of development, good amount of industrialization, good amount of tertiary working was done. Therefore, there was a betterment in the value of Brazil, leading into the technology and development. Next, move on to the year 2012-2013 in India. Again, import is more than export. 3.6 lakhs is your import, whereas 2.1 lakh is your export. Obviously, it is in dollars. Remember, the values are in dollars, US dollars. Therefore, India is having more of import than of export. That means we are yet underdeveloping in nature. Whereas Brazil is having a vice versa relationship. Export is 2.4 lakhs dollars, whereas import is 2.2 lakh dollars. And that is, India's trade is about 25% in GDP, whereas in the other vice versa around, Brazil is having a much better GDP in that case. According to 2016 census, you can see that India's trade has gone down from 50 to 40. But in Brazil, it has risen from 1990. It was 20 out there, and it has gone up to around 25% of Brazil trade has increased. Now, there's a association or international federation out there where it has formed a federation that is known as BRICS, BRICS, where the countries are Brazil, Russia, India, China, and as for South America, in that way. You can talk, yes, it is that way. So therefore, these countries are in the formation of BRICS. Now we move on to the graphical basis of India and Brazil trade. You can see import and export of Brazil. Import and export of Brazil given in figure 8.6. A good amount of work is being done on a large scale basis. So in that way, you can check it out. Finally, move on to one very important thing which has come into working in India recently, and that is GST. GST is goods and service tax. That means a child of even 1 year old is paying tax to the government because he or she purchases something from the vendor, from the hawker, or from any general store. So that particular child is also paying GST because the shopkeeper is giving GST on each and every product. A few products are there which have been declared by the public sector undertaking, that is the government undertaking, where medicines and food grains are not charged with GST. That is why generic medicines have come into working in such a manner. Brazil has a large production of coffee for the last 150 years. The plant belongs originally to Ethiopia, another country. It's in the Middle East. It was first brought to Brazil by some French settlers who established in the state of Para in the early 18th century. State of Para, obviously a state in Brazil country. Coffee farms are called fazendas. Obviously, it's not English word; it is a Portugal word. And Brazil has ample amount of industrialization on a very large scale basis in that way. And automobiles, mining, IT industries are there. IT industry means information technology industries, energy, biofuel. That means different types of. You have your urja gas, you have your biogas, you have your different types of fuel working in that particular manner. So in that case, and pharmaceutical industries where medicines are made on a very large scale basis. India, you can again revive yourself through the GST form of it. Every child in India is paying GST, goods and service tax in that case. And in that way, we shall just revive the complete chapter very fast, because it's all, the whole book itself is just a comparison between the country of India and Brazil. India has a coastline of 7,517 kilometers, whereas Brazil has a coastline of 7,400 kilometers, and both have good amount of marine fishing also. From industrial point of view, India and Brazil both are working together on a large scale basis, and because of that, the industrialization of India is increasing, whereas Brazil is already in a developing manner. Then if you look at your figure 8.3, page number 54, the whole Brazil map is showing you the complete geographical explanation in the map of Brazil itself, figure 8.3, page 54, where agriculture is working is there, mining is working is there, and your industrialization is taking place in the whole country of Brazil. Then you move on to the various types of farmings. You can see on page number 55, you can see all the cultivation done in Brazil. Then you have in India, you have plantations on the mountains also. Then you have slash and burn Brazil farming, which is known also as Roca, R-O-C-A or R-O-K-A. Both are correct. Then in India, we have ample amount of rain available according to the season, and therefore it is well renowned or well understood by having paddy grown on a large scale basis in various regions. India and Brazil have good amount of coastline. India has good amount of inland fishery as well as marine fishery, but Brazil has more of marine fishery rather than inland, because inland fishery in Brazil is rather difficult because of the speed of the water, the flow or the outlet of the water is very, very fast, very, very high, and because of the speed of the water, it's around in the river Amazon has a catchment area of 70 lakhs 50,000 square kilometers of area, and its discharge per second is 2 lakh cubic meters per second. That means you can understand the speed of water in the Amazon river is so fast that there is too much of erosion taking place. Therefore, fishery or fishing cannot be done in this speedy water. Whereas in India, the speed of the water is rather less compared to Amazon. The speed of the water is just 16,000 liters per second, and in the river of Amazon it is 2 lakh liters per second. So you can see the difference between both the countries' speed and flow of the water, where there is too much of erosion taking place in the country of Brazil, and the flow of water in India is rather slow. Then we move on to US dollars, where the currency is taken in place. India's currency is obviously rupee, and the symbol is Ra by itself, whereas the currency of Brazil is The symbol is R with capital R with the dollar sign, and which is read as Brazilian real, which is read as Brazilian real in that way. And we have different types of fishes available in Brazil and in India. Industrialization taken on a large scale basis. We have various mascots, logos on page number 57 in that case. So it's such a way that everything is well done, well off in that way. And Brazil, what does BRICS stand for? BRICS stand for Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. People write Saudi Arabia, which is incorrect. It is supposed to be South Africa. Remember that. All these are well renowned. Any questions, any doubts, any queries, any problems, I am available on WhatsApp, I am available on Telegram, you can chat with me, you can call me. I am available around the clock, 24/7, 365 days a year obviously. And we Heraians are well versed with, ever ready to help our students, especially the students of Maharashtra. Even if any other child can call us up, chat with us through Telegram or WhatsApp and put it onto comment. Please subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the channel and comment on the channel.